What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video I want to show you the new Core EQ from Kit Plugins. If you followed my channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of the Core compressor that was recently released, and now we have the Core EQ. And where other Kit plugins seems to lean more on color and character, this is more focused on transparency. And we've got a 4-band EQ here with high and low pass filters. Low mids and high mids are fully parametric, and the high frequency and low frequency you can switch from a bell to a shelf. A pretty straightforward EQ. We have an output knob at the top and bypass at the top as well. So I'm going to do something different here to just really show what the Core EQ can do here. I'm going to EQ these tracks from a track that was produced by Desiree Holiday, and I've got 8 instances of Core EQ on here. So these 3 purple tracks are bused to this bus, and then these 3 green tracks are bused to this bus that has Core EQ. But with 8 instances here, you can see I'm only at 6% performance. So it does really well on CPU. And let's get started. Let's just play right now. I haven't made any moves on any Core EQs here. I'm just going to play this. So this is going to be with no EQ, and then we'll start EQing each track individually with the Core EQ. All right, so let's get started. We'll start up here with, I believe these are the drums. All right, so we got a 135 hertz low shelf going here, and I boosted some about 2K to bring out that snare. And I think this is the clap here. All right, next track. All right, so just to add some presence, we're going to boost some 1K there, roll off a little bit of the lows. And this, I believe, is the 808s. All right, so I'm going to push this 12 dB with about 80 hertz on a low shelf. There's one thing I'm noticing here already, that you can really drive Core EQ. I mean, we're at 12 dB here, and it's not sounding overbearing here. Let's see what this is. I'm just going to add some high end to that, roll off some lows, and let's do maybe a 5K shelf. Okay. All right, definitely gonna add some low end here. Instead of using a shelf, let's go with the bell curve here and do about 60 hertz down here. All right, let's move on to these strings. All right, let's hear that in the mix. All right, and let's get these last strings here. All right, I'm gonna grab some 2K to give it some presence here. Let's hear that in the mix. All right, I'm just going to bring this bass down. And just showing that I can do this with Core EQ, I'm not going to use the fader here. Is that not opening the plugin for me? All right, let's do it from here. I thought I boosted that output. Let's bring that down some. All right, and lastly, let's bring the drums up. All right, so really quick, some EQing with Core EQ. I'm gonna now play it and just bypass it, all the Core EQ, and just hear exactly what it's doing here. And so with this off, everything will be bypassed, and with this on, we'll have Core EQ back engaged. We'll start with it off. So there's a look at Core EQ from Kit Plugins. Very easy to use, transparent 4-band EQ that, unlike some other parametric EQs, you can drive this pretty hard, which is really impressive. So things I'd like to see changed on here, a phase button would be nice, but depending on how you're going to use this, that may not be necessary. If you're going to use this more for mixing, phase button would be nice, but if you're using this more for producing, I would say that's not really necessary. But this is something that'd be good for just general use EQ, producing, as well as mixing. Looking forward to trying it out on some mixes for sure, where I just need some general EQing. Price on this, $29, just like the core compressor, very affordable. And I will have a link in the description if you want to check this out. If you like this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. If you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. All right, any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time. If you're interested in having me mix your song and my mastering engineer D. Lyles master it, check my link tree in this video description. From there, you can email me, you can visit my website, and check out mixes that I've done.